and go! Okay, in 1984, my favourite movie of all time was released, Ghostbusters. I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost. This was, I still think this is magnificent. What this film really did was it brought forward the idea of the paranormal, which a lot of people have never really seen. Now, Ghostwatch came out in Halloween 1992, I think. It scared the hell out of me. I don't know about anybody else as well. Sorry, the last presentation had a lot of swearing in it. What Ghostwatch did was it took the idea of sort of paranormal investigation and it started to put it into the format of like reality TV. Now, it did it in a mockumentary style. It took people that had been on shows like Hospital Watch and things like that, like Sarah Green, who got eaten by a cupboard. Sorry if you've not seen it. That's the ending of it. And it spawned all these other shows. It spawned, most famously, Most Haunted, Paranormal Investigation Live, which was on last weekend, which was rubbish. I wouldn't bother with it. Well, less said about Derek Gore, the better, I think. And John Edward and other such scam artists. Scariest photo of the night, sorry about that. Kieran O'Keefe is my hero. He goes on shows like Most Haunted, and what he tries to do is apply a sort of a scientific idea to these things so that he can start to try and get to the bottom of it. Now, these shows are all based around what I can see, as far as I can see anyway, sort of the Victorian spiritualism concept. Now, a lot of sort of Victorian spiritualism has been debunked over the years, but what's really interesting is that these shows are really sort of using so many of the things like table tipping and believing in a lot of the sort of things that were starting to be widely discredited back then. So what I wanted to do is talk about a couple of the techniques that are used, my opinions on them. I'm sure people will come with their own mind. Now, this is what's called a scrying mirror. The idea is that you stare into this black mirror and you see things happen to your face. Now, the human mind does sort of try to make order out of chaos, which is why you might see this picture is taken over Skipton, lovely Yorkshire town, lovely Yorkshire sky, I'm sure you'll all agree. And as you can see, it sort of looks like a sort of a weird dragony thing. This is what a lot of people say is a ghost photo. I'm not convinced. I think it's a sort of a white blur. A lot of people say they see, you know, a woman in there. Now, this photo was taken in 1960, and this is what a lot of people say is the photo that's almost too good to be true. It's taken in North Yorkshire, and the originals have been studied and no tampering can be found. Now, are we just looking at something there that perhaps is trying to make order out of chaos, or is it a genuine ghost photo? That's up to you to decide. What's interesting is the juxtaposition between these really old techniques such as Ouija boards and video cameras and so on as well. I want to talk a bit about some of them. Ouija boards I find quite fascinating. I had a go at a Ouija board in Derby Jail, which is run by Richard Felix, quite a renowned historian, and what he does is sort of do these sessions. Oh crikey, we've gone far too fast here. EVP, Ouija boards, finger moves around. I think it's involuntary muscle movements. People think that it's spirits moving your hands. That's that. I'm going to skip across EVP because we don't really have time. But I'm going to talk about this ghost machine, which some people call the ghost receiver. Now, people pick up on waves that are out there in the world, and they sort of manipulate them. I'm personally of the theory that if you have to manipulate what's happening there to create the results that you want, then you're probably not, it's probably not there. You're trying too hard, really. Temperature drops and temperature rises. People associate with various hauntings and haunted places. A lot of the time, lots of people get together in a small room and they wonder why it's getting hotter. Electric meter, this is another interesting one as well. Some experiments have been done recently where massive doses of magnetic power have been hit against people's brains. I'm sure it's fine, but they've induced hallucinations. Now, some people say that that is ghostly powers creating those, and some people say that that is just sort of natural fluctuations in the field. Now, a lot of people might wonder why I'm sort of interested in this, if I'm rubbishing so much of this stuff. The fact is, weird stuff happens. This photo was taken over in America. That girl wasn't there in the photo. It's an infrared photo. So apparently that girl was not there. That guy wasn't there in the photo either. it's weird stuff is out there. I think there's some weird stuff out there. I'd love to see sort of rational explanations fine for things, but when things like that are shown, and there isn't a rational explanation, I find that fascinating, and that's why I love paranormal investigation.